Welcome back, Kuma Crew. It is once again your favourite friendly despair bear, Annakuma, and today we're back for another Next Fest demo review. You know, from the one back in February. This time we're rolling around in Gala's wonderful Kulebra, and the Souls of Limbo demo, where we play as this little guy, rolling around at the speed of emotions. I'm not even joking, this game is going to pack an emotional punch you'd never imagine with something so cute looking, so sit back and let me tell you why you should be keeping an eye out for Kulebra, even though I obviously do not know how to pronounce it, and I've probably pronounced it 3 different ways now. This bear is an uncultured swine and I'm sorry. We wake up as this cute little guy with his funky little tail. You get to roll around and just wonder a bit till you meet this lady here. She needs you to help untie her from this boulder, and when you do, she'll take you through a cave to your next area. When here, we'll meet Crow, who welcomes you to Limbo and sets you on your way to these guys. Now I know this might sound like I'm being really dumb or something, but trust me, the premise of the game is that we're in the land of the dead. Souls live out the same day pretty much over and over, or some small parts are remembered and carried over, most of it is forgotten. Everything with the lady and Crow is kinda just background building. For my demo review, I want to talk about Flora and Rose. A mother-daughter duo that runs a plant store here in Dead Valley. Very cute, very sweet little characters in an adorable little plant store. You'll need the key to get out of Dead Valley and into the next area, and they have the key, but won't give it to you, so you start piecing together what is going on in their life. Flora will open up to you a little, and inevitably we find out their story and help them move on. This ended up being so much sadder than I thought it would be. I thought we were in for some really cute little ride, but it turns out that Flora's dad, Rose's husband, was a plant whisperer, and he left one night and never came back. This led to Rosa never going to bed, but sleeping in her chair, waiting for him to return. The argument that made him leave was over leaving the flower shop and moving on. Rosa didn't want to, he did, so on and so forth. Right now, Rosa has agreed to leave, but only if someone buys all of the plants, and lo and behold, there's this here rock that wants plant friends, so you start buying up plants to give to the rock. One boss fight later, and you find out that the boulder was actually the dad all along. Rosa finally has to let go of all of her anger and pain, and Flora accepts that it is her time to move on too. The family get to live together forever, in plant form, in front of the boulder that killed the dad. Like, excuse me, I was just rolling around here bashing into things, thinking this would be a jolly good adventure, and then I get rolled right in the feelings. It isn't fair. As a story, it was really well thought out as well. There did come a time when I saw what was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to walk someone actually into the light quite like we did. Seeing Rosa's story play out and then her getting tired and moving on was much more emotional than this little game made me feel it would be. Not to mention going back to the boulder at the end to actually get confirmation that he was the dad, hearing him talk about how these plants that represent his family are now together forever before he too moves on. It was just such a touching moment. This game is going to make you feel things, and I don't know if I'm ready to feel them. On top of this though, it's just a joy to play. The art style is very Paper Mario, says the person who has never actually played a Paper Mario game in their life. It is very bright and interesting to look at. We only get one area, but it had a lot of personality. Being able to see the big city in the background as you come out of the tunnel was a pretty awesome moment. The flower shop itself was a nice blend of cardboard meets Mexico feel. I love the use of a lot of purple too, as it is one of my favorite colors and a very good one for somewhere called Dead Valley. and even something as simple as the look of us rolling around is just so pretty to look at. For as simple as he is, I love Crow. Him throwing confetti when he introduces himself every morning is fantastic, but he is just a cute little burb and I love him. I will protect him with my life. This is why I didn't go into this game thinking I was going to get smacked in the emotions quite so hard. It looks cutesy, it looks like a nice little cozy ride with a funky little main character, but it turns out our little guy here holds the power to send people past Limbo. We hold the light, you see. That will be for the main game though. The demo doesn't go too deep into it. We do get this spooky and pretty cool looking cutscene at the end saying our nice deeds won't go unpunished, which, yeah, okay, fair. Movement in the game is so fun and fast. You're on a 3D plane, so walking around you have a lot of space. You can either walk and get this cute little animation, or as I said, you can get the really pretty animation of the roll if you just start to roll. The roll was a little wild to begin with, but it actually is very simple when you get used to it. If you bump into things, you'll automatically come out of the spin, and that is half of what it is for, bumping into things. To get the currency in game, you have to knock things over, or just knock into things. The currency is pearls, and as you can see, they fall out of just about everything. So rolling around and whacking things is always a good idea. You also have certain tasks that will need you to roll into them to get the boulder's hat, or to get the sap out of this tree here. Most of the game though is kind of an adventure game. You have a small inventory which you can combine items or just outright use them. In the demo you get a mixing puzzle with these herbicides, which is pretty fun, and then comes in helpful for the boss fight a little later. We'll get to it, don't worry. Honestly, the biggest gameplay mechanic though is the time loop. I love a good time loop, and it isn't necessarily a time loop in the normal sense. As I've already said, souls in Limbo don't necessarily remember everything that happens to them, so unless you make a mark on their lives, then their day-to-day life is going to be the same. As soon as you start to leave your mark though, they'll remember little things about you. That being said, you do lose any items that is soulbound to a character at the beginning of the next day, and you do always end up back at the mountain at the beginning of the day as well, so it is a time loop, but a soft time loop. I guess it could take people a few attempts to get the demo done. Personally, I only needed the 2 days, mainly because certain things only happen at certain times. Rockwell the Boulder only talks at night, so you need to be at nighttime to talk to him. You'll need to eavesdrop on a conversation in the nighttime to be able to figure out how to get the key to the gate the next day, not to mention that this wall needs you to show up at twilight. Nothing was overly hard, and the time loop itself isn't too difficult. You seem to have plenty of time. I never actually naturally went from one time zone to the next. You get a bench that you can sit on and skip time, and I had to do that a bunch to move on the plot, so it seems like time-wise they are very generous, which might get annoying if you can figure everything out really fast, but as you are heading to a city, it will probably end up feeling like not enough time to begin with in the next areas. Then you have the boss fight. Personally, I loved it. I thought it had a lot of character and was unique in its own way. Instead of actually fighting Rosa after she turns into her dark form after refusing to leave the shop, you have to answer her questions. Now don't worry too much about having to remember everything, because you also have a handy dandy book that records a bunch of things you'll do and hear throughout the game. You have character profiles, their names and motivations. You just have to open the book mid-fight to think about it. You also have the option to refuse if the character isn't telling the whole truth, which is fun. After getting to 50% health, it was time to come out and use the mixing skills. With a bit of adventure game twist of inventory puzzle, we have one last set of questions, and then we help Rosa move on. Like guys, I keep saying it, but I played this demo thinking it would be a cute little adventure game, and came out absolutely mind blown by how good it was. I was crying guys, there were tears, it was ugly, I'm an ugly crier. As a package, this demo, which I'm not going to say the name of again because I'm butchering it way too much, was the perfect show of gameplay and storytelling that makes you really engage with it on such a high level. I'm absolutely on board with this game and can't wait for it to release. Sadly, it doesn't have a release date quite yet, but when it does come out, I'm going to be on this so fast you have no idea. As always, a link to the Steam page will be in the description below. Please give it a wish list, and if it's still playable as a demo, give it a go. You won't regret it. But that is all I have time for today. If you want to support this bear going forward, then please like this video, tell me whether you like to walk or roll, and subscribe. Also throw a follow over at twitch.tv/Annakuma for more gaming 5 days a week, where I just get angry at video games for no real reason, I guess, because British. Bear. Till next time though, thank you as always for watching guys, and bye bye.